Hello, friends. How's everyone doing? Happy Sunday morning. Having a cup of coffee, getting ready to take my tinctures. We're gonna start our cordyceps mushroom growing. I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna inoculate the package so that we can get some mushrooms growing. Tinctures. You familiar with tinctures? We've got some tinctures we're going to take. I make my own medicine. These are just for maintenance to keep, things up to par, and they do help. I take a heart tincture, take it every day. My heart tincture has multiple herbs in it. It has holy basil. So I'm going to put this amount, and I'm going to do 4 drops. This has holy basil, sour sop leaves, lemon balm, holy basil, lemon balm, sour sop leaves, hawthorn berries, and something else. I can't remember what it is. Good stuff, though. I have a video on it. All these I have videos on. This is a lymphatic cleanse. Your lymphatic system is kind of like your plumbing. Same scenario on these. 4 of these, that amount. If you get sludge buildup into your lymphatic system, it's a highway that goes through your body. Most people just think that your lymphatics are here. No, they're everywhere. Down in your gut, your groin area, under your arms, in your chest area. They're everywhere. So it's a highway. So if things travel quickly throughout the body, including not good things, that's why you want to make sure that your lymphatic system is running very well. Liver cleanse. And always make sure that you shake your herbs, because some of that can sit at the bottom. So you want to make sure that you shake them up. Same scenario, that amount. You can see the color that's come from all the herbs. It's a nice green color. And I put these all into my coffee. I just drank my coffee. This is my hair tincture. So not only do we need to make sure that we nourish the exterior of our hair and make sure that the ends are well hydrated, because they're dead. Those ends are dead. The living part is in the scalp, the follicles here. So you need to do hair oil and then make sure you moisturize the ends. But we also need internal help with our hair. And there's a lot of good herbs that provide the silica and the minerals and the vitamins that you need to have healthy hair. So this is also on, I have videos on this for the contents and how to do it, and for these also. And again, I take this daily. You could split it up. You don't have to do all of this at one time. If you want to take it in the evening, in the afternoon, in the morning, and split it up. However, one thing I would like to say is that, for example, your liver, the liver cleanse, the liver support, it has some diuretics in there, so you may be up going to the bathroom. So late at night may not be a good thing, because it's going to help get rid of all that excess water in your body and the fluid, which in turn is going to help that inflammation decrease. And so you're not going to have inflammation in the joints, which means you're not going to have as much pain. So there's multiple reasons that you may want to take herbs, because not only does an herb just help one ailment, herbs help multiple things. So it's a good thing to do. We're going to put some black seed in there. As Muhammad said, black seed cures everything but death. There are so many things this is good for, I couldn't even begin to tell you. Good thing to take. Joints, anything that's anti-inflammatory. that removes the inflammation. So usually inflammation is due to a lot of fluid buildup. So diuretics help. So like dandelion would help with inflammation. Burdock would help with inflammation. Plantain would help from inflammation. Plantain is so underrated. Plantain is a great herb. Cordyceps mushrooms. So cordyceps mushrooms are really, really good for your health. We're going to do it right now anyway. So I'll explain what I'm doing. And I have my instructions. And this was $30, free shipping. Container is little, but they're expensive. That's why you're getting a little bit. But these may, you can get the owner, the seller advised you can get sometimes 2 to 3 harvests out of these. So the bottom of this looks like a rice cake. And it really doesn't say what this is. It's just called substrate cake. But it looks like a rice cake to me. Alright. So it has a filter here, so it's getting oxygen. And I'm going to clean the tip of the syringe with the alcohol pad that they gave here. And I will use this to inject it into that area. Wow, it even comes with a needle. And it is fully sealed up, so. It also came with an alcohol pad. These are cordyceps mushrooms. Major cancer fighters, major health benefits. They're just overall a really, really, really good mushroom to use. That's not it. There's where I got them. Rootmushroom.com. We have the base, what they're going to grow in. It has the filter for breathing, for oxygen. This is where I'm going to inject the mushroom spores. It came with the, ooh, it's kind of cool looking too. You can actually see the spores in there. Why is it always so hard to focus in on things? Do you see them in there? Kind of cool. I've got to put a needle, which was entirely packaged. It was not opened. And I've got an alcohol pad. We need to screw the needle onto the syringe. So I had already opened this. Okay, so now I'm going to put this on here. All right. Wow. This is like, don't let children ever mess with this, guys. Be very, very careful. We're going to open up the alcohol pad. And it says wipe it off. Getting down into these little grooves that are around that. Okay. So, wow. I'm going to show you that needle here. A dangerous ass thing. Alright, guys. So I'm puncturing it through. I'm going to try to go down as far as I can. And we're just gluing. Turning it around to try to get as much as the surface. I don't want them all clumped up everywhere. I don't know if you guys can see the drops. And I still got a lot in there, and I feel like I'm hitting a lot of the area. you can actually, well, I don't know, you guys probably can't see the liquid on there. Sorry. All right. That's it. That needle makes me nervous. Now I've got to place this container in a dark room with the temperature between 68 and 72 degrees for 7 to 9 days. Don't check the container frequently during this period. So I'm just going to put it in a cabinet here in the kitchen where it's warm. It's my hutch. I'm hardly ever in there, and that's where I'm going to keep it for 7 to 9 days. I will check it, but not frequently. After 7 to 9 days, the spores should cover the entire surface here. And then I'll put this container in indirect sunlight from a window. You can put it under lights, like LED lights. Then it'll get low to medium sunlight for 12 to 14 hours a day. These are going to go on the second shelf of where my seedlings are, because the temperature is perfect down there. It's going to get low light. You're going to notice color changes, and in about 2 weeks you will see sprouts and baby mushrooms. And then they actually take 50 to 60 days from today to actually harvest. It says you should get 2 to 3 yields from there. Now the mushrooms aren't going to be very big. Cordyceps mushrooms, very healthy for you, great in cancer fighting. I purchased this off of Etsy. The name of the company is rootmushroom.com. I haven't been to their actual website. They may have different mushrooms. It came with this container. It came with the needle to inoculate it. It also came with an alcohol wipe so you could clean where you inoculated it here. It has a oxygen filter here, so it's getting oxygen. This is going to go in the dark for 7 to 9 days. We're going to have some cordyceps mushrooms. What I'm going to do with those when I harvest them, I'm going to use Everclear, a high-grade alcohol. We're going to make a tincture out of those. And I'm hoping with the first harvest of these, that I have enough to make a tincture and also to dry. Yep, I can explain to you really quick. So, let's say this is, hold on. Where is it? I don't even know. Oh, here we go. I will pick that up later. We're just going to get this done. All right, this is what I usually do. Straining herbs. Any herb, okay? I always have something that I'm going to catch my liquid in. I usually use this. I usually do it over the sink because it's just better to do it over sink. All right, so put that in. I have a strainer. This is not normally the strainer I use. I usually use a metal strainer and put that over that. So we've got the liquid being caught. We've got a strainer. If the holes in your strainer are too large, you need cheesecloth. If you don't have cheesecloth, get yourself a towel. That's fine. You strain your herb mixture, your tincture in here with the towel or okay. So we have your cheesecloth towel here. We have the strainer there because the holes are too big. We're going to catch the liquid in here. You pour it in there, okay? Once it's poured in and it starts straining, just let it sit for a little bit. Once you don't hear those drips being caught in here, You take your towel, all that mark, all that plant is going to be in this towel. You take it, you wrap it up, and you start squeezing it. You want to squeeze it as much as you can, okay? Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. This is all your plant matter. Depending on what you have made a tincture out of and what that plant is, you can always dehydrate it, powder it, use it in smoothies, use it in a tea, whatever you want to do. It's not necessarily a throwaway. It's up to you what you want to do with it. You can dehydrate it, use it for other purposes. If it's something like burdock or something like that, you could even throw it into soups and broth, your homemade bone broth, things like that. But anyway, or you can throw it in a compost, or you can throw it away. It's up to you what you do with all this. Your strainer, you're done with it. This should have all that liquid in it. So then the liquid, you're going to take and put it into a clean jar. You can use the same jar as long as you kind of rinse it out, because you're putting the same thing in there. You just don't want particles of herbs in that jar when you're pulling in the strained liquid menstruum. So you put it in there, bottle it up, put the lid on, and then you can bottle it from there however you want. It's pretty easy, and you're going to do all your tinctures that way when they're ready. Anyway, double extraction mushroom. Start at the beginning. I'm going to strain a turkey tail tincture. So I'm getting ready to strain it. It's made with the high-proof alcohol. I've gone ahead, and here's my tincture. I'm going to go ahead and pour all that in. Guys, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay. My turkey tails tincture right here has the turkey tail mushrooms in there, and it's a high-proof alcohol. I'm going to strain it, okay? Going through this thing where we're going to squeeze out everything we can. Turkey tails are in here. I'm going to set them in there and set it to the side. Here is my liquid alcohol tincture. I'm going to measure it. So let's say this is cups, and you can tell how long I've had this damn thing. You can't even read them on there. But here's the two cup mark. So let's say after I've got done straining my mushrooms and everything, I have this much tincture in here, 2 cups, okay? All right, I'm going to set that liquid aside. So let's go back to the mushrooms that we just strained. I'm going to get, because I had 2 cups of tincture in here, I'm going to get 4 cups. I'm going to double the amount of this. I'm going to get 4 cups of water. Let's pretend this is no longer my tincture. This is now a pot, okay? I'm going to take a pot, and I'm going to put 4 cups of water in here. I'm going to take all these mushrooms that I strained out of my tincture, and I'm going to dump them in that pot of 4 cups of water. All right, it's on the stove now. I'm going to put it on a low heat to where it only goes to a very, very light simmer. Not a boil, not a hard simmer. You don't want it to get that hot. It's just a low simmer. You might see a little bit of movement in there from the water because of the heat, but it's not bubbling in any way, shape, or form. So you're going to let those 4 cups of water reduce down to 2 cups of water. The same amount of liquid that your tincture was. So you go from 4 cups of water and you take it down to 2 cups. Once you get it reduced down by half, you take it off the heat, you let it cool down, and you're going to do the same process. You're going to have something to catch your water in. This is empty now. You're going to put your strainer on. You're going to go ahead and put your cheesecloth towel, whatever. This is, let's pretend this is the pot that we just reduced down to 2 cups with the mushrooms in it. We're going to go ahead and strain it. Strain all those mushrooms that just reduced down to 2 cups. You're going to go ahead and squeeze all that water out, okay? You've got 2 cups of water here that have pulled all those water-soluble properties out of the mushrooms, okay? And then over here, you still have your 2 cups of tincture. You're going to combine those together. Now you've got 4 cups of tincture. It's alcohol and it's water. Now then, you want to, that's where having a hydrometer comes in very well, because you want to make sure that, and what hydrometer measures how much alcohol you have in what you're making. So, and this is a hydrometer. I'm getting off of Amazon. So legit. It's a hydrometer for home brews. So people making their own whatever, mead, whatever. Comes with everything you need. So this would be your 4 cups of tincture, water, and the alcohol tincture. All right, and you would test some of it. You get some of that tincture in a cup, and you then would put it in the vial that's included in this thing right here. It's included in here. So you pour your sample of tincture in there, and then you use the hydrometer to test how much alcohol is in there. Because if you have more water, if your percentage of water is too high, it can form bacteria. So you always want to have a high level of alcohol. Now, if you don't have one of these, a way to avoid having to have one of these is, my sister's phone's going off. If you don't have one of those, what I usually do is I only put, instead of putting 2 cups of water and 2 cups of alcohol, I put 1 cup of water and 2 cups of alcohol. So I have more alcohol than I do water. That makes sense? Thank you guys. God bless you all. Thank you for following, and thank you for all of your support. You guys are absolutely wonderful. And we'll talk later.